After last episode's poor showing from our brand new goalkeeper, I have made a change in between the sticks and brought in a hero from last season. Let's get into this episode, find out quite what's going on and get into our games as well. Welcome back then guys to the Red Devil Revival here on LS Plays FM, now for episode 14 of our series here with Kaiserslautern. Now, as I just mentioned in the intro, we have made some more transfers, some more signings here at the club, especially after the poor showing that occurred in the previous episode, mainly from our goalkeeper. Now, if you did miss that last episode, guys, there'll be a link right above me for you to click on so you can go back and see quite what went on when we took on Hanover from the Bundesliga in the German Cup first round. And also, before we do get going today, guys, if you do enjoy this video here, please do chuck a like down onto it. As I always say, every like on the video always helps the channel out massively. And of course, if you're looking forward to seeing any more of my content here on LS Plays FM, such as the Red Devil Revival series, any of my FM21 experiments, or any of my FM21 tactics video, of which the latest should have either gone live today or be going live tomorrow, then do make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring that notification bell to be notified when any of my content here on YouTube goes live. Now then, let's get into today's episode properly. As I've just said, we have made a lot more new signings here at the club. After we finished last episode, we still had around about 2 weeks or so roughly of the transfer window left open. We are now here in the middle of September. That window has fully closed, but I'm pretty happy with the rest of the business that has gone on at the club. We are also going to be taking on only the one match today. I initially said last episode we may do one or two depending on how many signings. We have made 4 new signings, so I'll run through all of those new players. I'll run through the results as well that have gone on. And then we'll be taking on St Pauli away in the league in what is a pretty tough game. St Pauli up there in 4th place currently, and we are pretty mid-table at the moment. But that'll be the game that will happen later on in today's episode. Now then, let's go through our transfers first of all. If we go into the transfers page on here, go to our history. I will run through who has left first of all, and then we'll go over who else has come in. So, of course, last time we said about Lucas Röser went out to Erzgebirge in the same league as us. We have also loaned out Tim Reeder, who played quite a few games for us last season. Unfortunately, with Tim Reeder, he had an extension clause in his contract and also a massive wage rise clause. So he was getting paid £5,500 a week for a guy who was not even getting into the first team this season after all the improvements we made in the squad. So I've loaned him out to Wiesbaden. They're paying, I think, 90% of his wages. So it got him off the wage bill. And that decision as well allowed us to bring in another additional 2 players. So Reeder going out, I was really pleased with. I've also got in a replacement for him anyway. I'll show you him pretty shortly. We also sold Hekmet Shifshi. He played a few games for us last season. He was kind of the backup deep line playmaker. Due to the players who've now come in, he isn't going to be getting really in the squad anymore. He's gone to Guingamp over in France for £100,000, possibly rising to £160,000. So I felt that was a decent deal for a guy who only had 12 months left on his contract and wasn't going to be playing. Now though, in terms of the new arrivals, as I say, we've got 4 new ones. And the first name, who you may have already spotted, is, as I said in the intro, a hero from last season who has returned. And I have no idea how we've got him back. That player, of course, is Titus Krapikas, the goalkeeper from last season, who, when I looked basically from almost the entirety of the transfer window, there was no chance of him coming in, okay? Spezia got relegated from Serie A. They were the parent club of Krapikas when we had him on loan last season, and they wanted to play him. He then kicked up a fuss, said he wanted to leave, and then for whatever reason, they then let him come back on loan to us for 450 quid a week. I have no idea. He's already played 3 games since arriving. He's been okay. He's kept 1 clean sheet, conceded 2. And generally speaking, he's looked a lot more competent than what Hansen has done in the 3 games he's already played. So that's probably going to be Hansen's season over. And because in fact we've loaned him in and I had no option to terminate it, sadly. A little bit of wasted money. But I couldn't say no to Krapikas. He's fantastic. So he's the first one. Next on the list is the new kind of rotation player in ball midfield coming in to replace Tim Reeder. And that is Benedikt Kirsch. He's another German footballer. He comes in on a very, very cheap wage, only £1,600 a week. He's about as good as Reeder, especially in the mentals. He's probably better mentally than what Reeder is. and he comes in, can do a job. He only wants to be a fringe player, so I felt it was a kind of a win-win deal. If we want to, we can probably sell him in January if he doesn't do anything. But we'll wait and see. So Kirsch has come in. He hasn't played yet. Let's say just a backup option. After Kirsch, the next player on the list I will go through is Samuel Mulateri. There is another player on there who I'll come to last of all. Mulateri is coming in on loan from Inter Milan. He's another striking option, so it means we now have 3 strikers at the club after Rösler went out and we sold him. I felt we had to get another striker in. Mulateri here came up as an option, and I think, as you can probably agree, he looks bloody amazing. He really does. So I'm hoping to give him some game time. He's only on £1,000 a week as well while he's on loan here for the season. So I felt it was a pretty good deal to get him into the squad. Overall, he looks fantastic, and I'm looking forward to giving him his debut in our match with St Pauli today. But of course, we will get to that in a minute. The final signing, you may have noticed his name, is Yohan Cabaye. For those of you who are fans of the Premier League, especially if you like Newcastle or Crystal Palace, you will definitely recall Yohan Cabaye. He's a bit older now. He's now 35, and we ended up paying a little bit of money for him, not too much. He was at Angers over in France. He had only a year left. They wanted to get him out. And I was like, we need a deep line playmaker. Realistic deep line playmakers don't have to have great physicals. And then I found Yohan Cabaye, who he looks very, very good. His mentals, his technicals are fantastic. Even his physicals aren't bad. He still has 8 pace at someone who's 35 years of age. He comes in on £5,000 a week on a 2-year deal, which is a little bit frustrating. But I think he could still do a job. He's got 17 natural fitness. As long as he avoids getting like a big injury, he should be able to still be capable for this season and possibly the next season. And also he can tutor some of the young players we have at the squad. So I think Cabaye coming in is a really decent option, and I'm looking forward to seeing him play once again against St Pauli. He has had his debut. He did struggle in the last game we played, but we did lose it. So I'm not too disappointed. But he can also play further forward if we require him to do so. So that's not too bad either. In terms, though, of how we've gotten on in the recent fixtures, that wraps up all of the transfers. But in terms of the recent matches, we've played 3 games off screen since the Hanover game, where, of course, we lost 3-0, sadly. We then played Darmstadt in the league, and we bounced back really well. We got a 2-0 win at home, and it was quite a comfortable win. Both goals came from our left-back, Philip Hercher, randomly. But yeah, it was a good performance. We got the job done. That was the main thing. We then unfortunately had 2 disappointing defeats. The first was away at Arminia Bielefeld, a 1-0 loss. And as I say, it was a bit unlucky. It probably should have been a draw looking at the stats and stuff that occurred in that game. But we didn't really create enough, so it was our own real fault. And then we played Bochum at home. And much like the Bielefeld game, this game we were probably better in. We then lost 1-0 to Bochum as well. It was after these 2 games I felt we probably need another striker, because at the moment only one striker has scored for us, and that is Jorge Galen, and he's not even the first choice. So we've got in Mulateri, the Italian youngster, to see if he can help propel us in the games that we have to play. In the Bundesliga, or the second Bundesliga even, we're sitting down in 11th place. We're not doing badly. We've got 7 points on 5 games. We have a game in hand. If we get a draw, we win. We should rocket up the league table a little bit. We're 2 points clear of 16th position Dresden and 3 clear of 17th Osnabrück. So it's not going bad. Of course, at the end of the day, the goal is to just stay up for this season. Hopefully we can manage that. In terms of how we're lining up for the St Pauli game, it's going to be a tough game, as I've already said. St Pauli are a very, very good side. It's Krapikas in net, Hubner, Ramos and Kraus as the back 3. Butson at right back. I'm bringing in Villa back at left back just to see how he gets on in this game. It's then Yohan Cabaye and Philip Earhart as the 2 central midfielders, 2 new signings. It's then Salas, I think is how I've been told to pronounce his name, not Salas. So I think it's Salas as the attacking midfielder, and Ritter as the shadow striker with the newly arrived Mulateri up front. So it's basically a completely different side to the one that was playing last season, the exception being Ritter and, of course, Krapikas and Kraus. So it's going to be interesting to see how this team gets on, but I'm hopeful we can do a good job. So then let's get the side submitted for our only game of today's episode, of course, away here at St Pauli in the league. I'm confident we can at least maybe nick a point. If we end up losing, it's not in the world, because I say St Pauli are a good side. They're managed by Mark van Bommel, which I think is quite fascinating. I always remember Mark van Bommel being a player once upon a time when I was probably a teenager, maybe even younger than that. But it's interesting that he's manager St Pauli now. And I'm going to say to the lads, it's time to put an end to this poor run of form. I don't actually agree with that, because we've only lost 2 games, so I don't think it's that bad. I'll say I have faith in you to the rest of the lads, and the majority of them seem okay with that. I'll say it to defenders as well. Not too bad of a team talk. But here we go then, away at St Pauli. St Pauli on really, really good form at the moment. They play with 3 strikers, as you can see. My scout reports were telling me that was going to be the case. So I don't know how we're going to cope playing 3 strikers, but hopefully we don't get absolutely torn to shreds. But I'm confident of an okay performance, as I say. I think at the moment where we are is probably about as good as we're going to probably get this season, like a mid-table, maybe top half team we can maybe scrape. We won't be getting any better than that, I highly, highly doubt. I just don't think we have the quality in our side to do so. Some of the teams in this league are really, really strong. So Stuttgart being a key example of that. Stuttgart, and they're struggling in the league at the moment, but they're a really good side. Union Berlin too. So there are some decent sides that float in and around the second tier of German football. So we do have to be careful, and it'll be interesting when we have to play up against those sides. An early highlight here, only 20 minutes in, Olsen puts it in for St Pauli. And I mean, you look at that, you think, oh, that's a mistake from the goalkeeper. It's not actually. It was deflected from Sebastian Stolz, or Stoltz, the St Pauli. I think he's their striker. It was quite unlucky, this. Olsen, it's a decent cross, okay. It goes in, it beats the wing back. And then, yeah, look, that is so unlucky. Krapikas probably would have had that covered. Otherwise, Hübner would have done. A bit of a bad way to concede, but I'm not going to hold that against the lads. It's not really a mistake or anything like that. It was just a bit unlucky. Highlight here. Can we get a nice reaction to that? Butson on the ball now. Come on, Niels Butson, the right back. Play it back to Kabay. He has done. Johan Kabay with good technicals. He's gone for it. And on his on-screen debut, Johan Kabay, the 35-year-old, a lot further up the pitch than I expected to see him, has got a goal. Come on, Johan. Fantastic stuff. That's the first goal that you would have seen on camera for this season. Because, of course, the first game in episode 12, I think it was a 0-0. Then last game, we lost 3-0. And we finally scored a goal on screen. It only took 3 episodes. But well done, Johan Kabay, the most experienced player in the side. Very, very good stuff indeed there. Another highlight here. Kabay on the ball again. We're going to go and get a second. What a ball. Ritter, is he onside? Oh, he only is. And he's only got to dink the keeper. What a goal. I want to see the pass by Johan Kabay again. Because that, oh my goodness. The run from Ritter and the ball from Kabay was wonderful. Villa's throw in. Kabay just gets it. He just looks up, sees Ritter's run and goes, here you go, mate. Have a go. And oh, what a finish. What a finish from Marlon Ritter. I didn't think we'd be winning this game, that's for sure, but a fantastic turnaround. We conceded in the 20th minute, we scored the equaliser in the 27th, and we scored the goal to go in front in the 30th minute as well. It means at the moment, should results as they are, we go only 1 position below St Pauli in the league, up there in 5th place. Fantastic turnaround. Only next year, 0.44, yet we are winning 2-1. Definitely take that. I'm going to say, I am happy with points so far. Keep it up. I think that's fair to say. I'm going to say to the young striker, you weren't that bad. And everyone looks motivated and inspired, which is fantastic indeed to see. Very, very good stuff there from the lads. It's also good to see a wing-back with a decent performance at long last. This is playing on the patch. Now, I think the little minor patch that came out a couple of days ago, which is said to have actually helped sort out a lot of the bad ratings and stuff for defenders. I think it actually now records key tackles, which is what I believe was the issue. I can't quite remember. Oh no, it's going to... Wow, that was very, very close. Okay, that was much closer than I initially thought it was going to be. I'm going to make some changes, mainly because I see our centre-backs are struggling. So I'm going to sub off Hübner. I'm going to change him over with Ramos. I'm going to get Kobold in there as the ball-playing defender on cover. That's one thing I forgot to mention, actually. We've changed the libero to the ball-playing defender on cover role. I found it just seems to be a little bit better. I may well change it back to the libero now that the patch is out and see if it helps matters, because I found on the previous patch, the libero just did nothing. I haven't since tried it on the latest patch that came out. I think it was yesterday, so Thursday or Wednesday. No, what's the date? What is the date today? It's Saturday I'm recording this on, so it would have been Friday or Thursday whenever the patch came out. I can't remember. Oh, Butson. I think that's going to be given as a free kick. It was a stupid foul. It's going to go to VAR. I didn't even realise there was VAR in the second tier of German football. But here we go then. The first VAR check I think we're going to have of the entire series so far. And of course he has to go to the bloody monitor. He's checking it. It was obviously outside the box. So if this ref gives it inside, there is some corruption going on. Okay, no penalty. Thank you, ref, for not being a bastard. Is he going to book Butson as well? I reckon he probably will do. No, apparently he's warning him. Apparently this means a warning. Didn't know that, but okay, Football Manager, fair enough. We have got the ball headed away. And the Metcha, who was a player I was looking at in the summer, he was a young Man City player who is on loan, I think, at St Pauli now. I tried to get him in, he turned us down, unfortunately. Right, let's make another change. I'm going to get Salas off for Enzo Zidane. And I'm also going to get Erhardt off for Benedikt Kirsch, the other player that we signed recently. I'm pretty happy. We're just trying to settle for the... Oh, no. I was going to say settle for the score as it is, but there's a corner. It's been well headed away by Kobold, but no one is out there to collect the ball. The pressure just carries on. Pequeda here, or Picada, and Stolzer with his second of the game. We're going to go to balanced. I'm going to say demand more. And I'm also going to go and put us on be a bit more disciplined and be a little bit of time wasting. Because I'm happy to take the point. It's a bit disappointing. But to be fair, this second half, St Pauli definitely looked the better. We haven't seen a highlight from us all of this entire half. And this is going to be a very dangerous free kick, isn't it? Okay. Boutman and... Wow, Bergstaller. I think that's Guido Bergstaller, former Schalke player. Should have scored that. He somehow didn't. And we got very, very lucky. I'm going to put this on to cautious. There's a... Oh, no. Oh, no. Thank you, Krapikas. He recovered after that horrendous... I don't know who was at fault for that goal kick. Was it Krapikas with the pass or Ramos for not paying attention? It was awful regardless. We got away with it. And, okay, that's gone over as well. We are really, really under pressure now. I'm going to change up the tactic. We're going to go with a 4-1-2 or a 5-1-2-1-2 like so, I think. Ritter can go in as an attacking midfielder on attack. We're going to get Benedikt going in like so as the ball-winning midfielder. We're going to get Enzo Zidane going in as an advanced playmaker on support. We're going to put both our wing-backs onto defend. It's a very defensive formation, this. We're going to stop the overlap as well. We'll go full-on time wasting. But I want this point as a minimum. I don't want to risk us losing it here in this game. Don't say it's an injury. Okay, I think Villa might be okay. We're going to go demand more. We're going to go defensive as well, if you'll let me. There we go, defensive. Come on, lads. We're going to nick a point here against St Pauli. I think we're going to. We have. It was a bit nervy towards the end of the game, but we got the job done. That is the main thing. We've gone to St Pauli and we've taken a point from them. A very, very tough side. I'll say well done, lads, there. You proved everyone wrong by avoiding defeat. We were expected to lose quite heavily in this game. So very tough with that. It gets us up into 9th place as well, which means we are officially into the top half of the table. Pretty good stuff there from the boys. I mean, you look at the stats there. St Pauli probably should have won. We probably did FM them, but I don't care. Now let's go to the old schedule though, and we'll see what we're going to come back for next episode. I reckon what we'll do is I'll play for the rest of September. So we'll play Dresden, Union Berlin and Osnabrück off screen. And we'll come back for the beginning of October when we're going to take on Fortuna Düsseldorf, who are up there in 5th place currently. And we'll also take on Greuther Fürth, or Fürth, I think is how you pronounce it, as well. So 2 very tough sides. A side coming in 5th and a side in 2nd. And that'll all be coming in next episode, which will be out on Wednesday. Overall though guys, that just about wraps up this video here today, and I think you've got to be honest with the signings that have come into the club, especially Krapikas coming back, which I'm so pleased with, even though he almost cocked up in that game. But much better stuff having him in there. I feel a lot more comfortable with him there, and also that performance there against St Pauli, it was pretty good all things considered. To get 2 away at a very, very tough side, I'm pretty happy with that. And also the fact, guys, you've got to see some goals on a video at long last. That I think is definitely the main thing for us here today. I really do hope you've enjoyed today's video, guys. If you have, please do go and chuck a like down onto it. As I always say, it massively does help the channel out. And if you're looking forward to seeing any more of my content here on YouTube, then do make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring that notification bell to notify when any of my content here on YouTube goes live. But guys, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you again next time.